You're listening to the Social Selling Simplified podcast. Stick around if you too are obsessed with learning things that actually work and believe that success leaves clues. We're all about identifying results-producing roadmaps and getting super clear on how to scale and grow your online business. From part-timer to president, social selling expert Ashley Shaw will help you connect the dots and take the guesswork out of what works to grow a social selling empire. It's time to hear from social selling legends, listen in on truthful conversations, and learn the best tips and tricks to reduce the marketing overwhelm so you can build the social selling business of your dreams. If you're ready to go all in, no holding back, and build the business you've always wanted, you're in the right place. Here's your host, educator, social selling guru, and fitness industry OG, Ashley Shaw.
Welcome to Social Selling Simplified. I'm your host, Ashley Shaw. And in today's episode, I'm sitting down with Micah Folsom. And she is a seven-figure network marketer in the health and wellness space. She is also wife to a cattle rancher and large animal and homeschool mom to their 5 kids. Yes, 5 kids. I had to clarify that a couple of times to make sure I had that number correct on their small farm in Southeast Idaho. And what blew me away is the conversation Micah and I have around building a 7-figure network marketing business in under 20 hours a week, but also with raising 5 kids and having a big business as well. Folsom Farm homegrown beef subscriptions and, being able to do both of those things, being a cattle rancher's wife and being alongside her husband in running that business, and then also running her network marketing business. So this episode is all about making real money and building your business like an entrepreneur, not a network marketer. So I hope you enjoy this episode just as much as I enjoyed talking to Micah. And here we go. All right, Micah, thank you so much for being here today on Social Selling Simplified. Super excited to dive into how to actually build a business like an entrepreneur instead of thinking about it like, oh, I'm just a network marketer. Because ultimately you need to think like an entrepreneur. And so can you give us a little bit of a background? I know you've been with Beachbody for 9 years. Tell us a little bit about that journey and the level that you have gotten to within your business.
Yeah, sure. So thanks for having me on. This is going to be a fun conversation. This is something that I'm super passionate about. Obviously, the social selling industry, network marketing, it gets a bad rap sometimes, but man, it's transformed my life in every single way. And so the more that I can serve this community and help people have more success in this area, it just lights me up. So yeah, I've been with Beachbody 9 years. Like you mentioned, I started as a customer, I needed the accountability, I needed support, I needed the solutions. I was the ultimate yo-yo queen, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. And I was actually doing insanity for 4 years, off and on. Didn't know about coaching, but I had learned what Beachbody was, knew the workouts were legit. And I had started a wedding photography business and was doing that. My husband was in veterinary school. I had 2 toddlers and I was at my ultimate, like I had gone off the wagon and been run over. And I'm like, I need to get back on the train. And so I started doing insanity again and was like, okay, need something new. So this is when Instagram was like brand new. Went on and I'm pretty sure I just did hashtag Beachbody and looked it up. Found this random girl who had a 6-pack and was posting about this group she was doing. Had no idea who she was, had never talked with her before, but I wanted a 6-pack. So I'm like, sure, she looks like someone awesome to talk to. And I got into her group, got a pack. And so it came with Shakeology. And I was the ultimate, I did not invest in myself. I did not see the value in it. But since it was on sale and since I got a deal, I was like, I'll try it for a month and see. Well, about a week into the challenge and drinking it, I'm like, okay, I want to continue using this. How can I save some money on it? So of course, our listeners know if they're in Beachbody, I signed up to be a discount coach literally for 5 seconds. And I'm like, okay, wait, I don't just want a discount. I would love to help some people and pay for my own. So that was me dreaming big. That's all I got started for, was to pay for my own shakes. So my husband wouldn't give me crap every single month for spending that money. And I really just fell in love with the process of helping people, with the process of helping them step through their own crap like I had to do, stop giving up on themselves, stop going all in, all out, stop like starting something just to give it up again. And that's where I was coaching for probably like 6 to 8 months, just in the cracks of my day, still building my photography business, momming, doing all the things. But I was loving it. I was loving jumping on social for 10 minutes and having those conversations, getting a post up and sharing my journey every single day. And I'm like, I do not want to be the weirdo who's trying to sell stuff. I had all of these reservations going through my head when I started. I don't want to be salesy. I don't want people to reject me. I don't want to feel like I'm coming at people. I don't want to be, I called it the Beachbody shark, because I had posted before I became a coach, I would post and tag insanity because that's what I was doing. And without fail, every single time I would get a message from a random human that was like, oh my gosh, you should join my accountability group. And I'm like, no, thank you. I don't know who you are and you're weird. So I had a really bad taste coming in. And I honestly was kind of embarrassed to say that I was a Beachbody coach because I didn't want to be like connected to that group of, I call them the Beachbody shark. And now 9 years in, I know that they were just people trying to help people. They were excited about what they were doing. They were looking for opportunities to have conversations. But I promised myself if I was going to do this, I was going to do it in my way. And I was going to do it in a way that just felt aligned, that I could be proud of, that I was excited to show up for, that didn't feel weird or icky or off. And so I did it. And I didn't have any, my upline isn't super active. She wasn't doing much. I just kind of figured it out. And thankfully, my grandma upline, she was awesome. She was a superstar. She doesn't do as much now, but back in the day, she was doing a Star Diamond training. And my coach, one of the best things she did for me was, hey, let me get you plugged into this that our grandma coach is doing. So I plugged into that. I learned the ropes from the leaders that were doing a weekly call. And I just kind of figured it out. And 8 months in, I stopped my photography business because I was getting irritated every single time I had a wedding inquiry come in. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm like, that's the last way. That's not how I need to be feeling when I'm like going to shoot a bride's wedding. So I kind of had to follow that heart tug and close the shop and go all in with coaching. And over the years, I mean, insert the Beachbody income disclaimer. We're not supposed to say, but we've transformed our world. We've transformed our life. It's given us ultimate time and income flexibility to do what we love, to provide for our family, to live where we want to live, doing work that we want to do that impacts and serves our family and so many others. And it's just been such a blessing. So we've reached for our Beachbody coaches, our team's a Superstar 3 team. So we've reached the highest level in the company 3 different times. We've been a top 10 team multiple times. And it's all just been built on alignment, like really, really, really building a business like a business and not just going through and checking the boxes and treating this like a little side hustle, but really understanding the growth opportunity and the possibility that comes with it and making it a priority, even in the craziest seasons of life. And I think that's one of the things as we're talking about building this like a business, like an entrepreneur, that's one of the things that if you invested $500,000 to start a brick and mortar, I promise you, you would show up to do the work in order to make that a profitable thing for you. But so many network marketers get started at such a low investment that their commitment level is at that same low investment. And so when the going gets tough and when it gets uncomfortable and when it gets hard and when rejection comes and when you are like, have those fears and those limiting beliefs smack you right in the face, a lot of people are just like, okay, this is my time to slow down. This is my time to like take a step back. This is my time to, maybe it's not for me, get stuck in your doubts and fears. And for me, like as those things smacked me in the face, I was like, all right, this is my time to grow as a human. This is my time to face these things, because if it's coming up in your business, it's also coming up in your life. And what I saw was what I was facing in my business, the things that were seeming hard or the things that I needed to step through, those were a reflection of also what I was going through in motherhood and in my marriage and in all of those things. And so early on, I had that perspective of like, okay, I'm going to treat this as something that's going to help me fulfill my ultimate calling, which is motherhood. And I'm going to learn how to lead. I'm going to learn how to help someone through hard times, help them through their fears, help them through their doubts, help them feel gratitude, help them create habits and structure that will serve them and help them become their best. I'm going to learn all of these things in this business so that I can do all these things in motherhood. And that too is how I stepped through all of the mom guilt that came with building a business and kind of taking away time from your family in order to do something else. I knew that what I was doing here was serving me in my ultimate role. And so that helped me through that a lot. But it's because I had that perspective early of like, this is a business that can ultimately transform our life. And I'm going to treat it that way. So I think that's step number one when it comes to speaking to our network marketers and how to really create the success that they're craving.
Hey, coach, I finally have something that I've been dreaming of providing for you. I know that you definitely didn't start this business because you really felt like pestering your friends and family and getting ghosted by everyone. Chasing people down or having to follow up with them is definitely hard work, and it can feel so awkward and uncomfortable for everyone involved. But your upline probably told you that this is what successful people do, and they didn't mention to you that unless you're this superstar salesperson right off the bat, you're going to struggle forever if you keep doing it that old school way. 99% of coaches quit because they suddenly declare themselves this expert online and then go back and ask everyone who knew them to just start buying from them when they just started working out last week. And this problem applies to all network marketers, not just coaches. But the 1% that actually succeed have made it because they've caught on to a different system that's been proven to work. And it's just something that nobody really talks about. It's all about taking some simple steps to position yourself as an influencer first. So soon, instead of asking people to talk to you, you'll attract ideal customers who are already excited to learn from you and buy from you. They'll know exactly what you're about and how you can help them. Go to ashleyshaw.ca/fyourupline to learn more and see exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have to hunt people down and make them talk to you in order to get your bills paid for the rest of your life. Check out my short book called F What Your Upline Said and get an entirely different approach that will feel much more organic and authentic. That's ashleyshaw.ca/fyourupline. I'm so excited for you to start implementing these 4 simple changes in your business and see how it absolutely transforms how you feel about your business and the results that you're able to get. I have a couple of questions around those things that you've talked about. So let's start with your growth with network marketing. Can you elaborate a little bit on, so for the people that might not be Beachbody coaches, what level are you at now? Like after 9 years of work, where does that put you in terms of where you're at, if you're comfortable to share that?
Yeah. I mean, in our industry, we're not really supposed to talk numbers and things. I don't know. I'm like, okay, income disclaimer all over this. We have surpassed the 7-figure mark annually. Around year 5, we hit that and have sustained that every year after. And it's continuing to grow. Like I don't know what else. It's to say that like it has been worth it. It has been work and it has been worth it. That is for sure. It's because we've seen the potential. Like we knew that there were so many since Beachbody. I mean, my husband is able to do the work he loves. My husband still works very full time as a veterinarian, very full time. And he has a couple different businesses with our cows. We just launched a beef box subscription with our homegrown beef that we raise. I have a program for network marketers now. So it's enabled us to do so many other things that we love, but I still very much do Beachbody. And I probably will until I'm a grandma, because I have so much belief in what it does to human beings and just network marketing in general. I feel like it's the ultimate personal growth journey. It really is, because the more that you grow, the more that you develop yourself, the more that you develop your mindset and your skill set and your leadership, the more you're able to do and to mentor others and to help them do that. And so I just feel like entrepreneurship, network marketing in general is like a big personal growth opportunity wrapped up in a bow with a business opportunity tied to it. Mm-hmm. And I want everybody to have something that's tied to network marketing in their life because they can fit it in such a beautiful way, however it looks for them in whatever capacity, and grow it at whatever pace they want. But it will help them grow as humans as they dig in and do the work that it's going to take to be successful. Because in this business, your success is a direct reflection of your growth and your level of impact that you've been willing to serve others and help them grow as humans, which I think is like a unicorn opportunity.
For sure. And so in those, what I find really interesting about this is, so within the first 5 years, you were able to achieve 7 figures and continue to grow the business from there. So in that first 5 years, was that income was just Beachbody specific?
Yeah. Yep.
Now, I think what's so interesting about that is that, like you had said, with having a business in a box, when I first started my journey and this business that I have now, it was, like I think it was year 4, we had our first 7-figure year, but the blood and sweat and tears that go into having to figure out everything from scratch, it definitely is, it's an amazing opportunity what can happen when you're given the tools and it's like, here, everything's here for you, just run with it. I think that the fact that happened for you within 5 years and you just, use the tools that were in front of you and made it all come together is incredible, like an incredible accomplishment with that.
Thanks. And I think too, like having my photography business first and going through that of like building everything, building every website, building everything, doing all the customer service, doing the shipment, doing the fulfilling, doing the accounting, doing every freaking thing. And then going into network marketing where I'm like, holy moly, I literally pay this business fee of $15.95 and all of that crap is done for me. Like sign me up for that, please, every single day. So I think a lot of people who have never been in business, they don't know what it takes to build a business. They don't know. And even doing the Beachbody subscription, like it is so much freaking work to do all of the things. Like it's a passion on our heart and that's why we're doing it. But it's like, gosh, we have it easy. And I think a lot of people just take that for granted. And then they also correlate the easiness to the amount of effort that they're going to put in because there isn't any blood, sweat, and tears. So they don't have any risk, and that shoots them in the foot a lot of the time.
I think the other thing that really resonated with me is when you talked about the commitment level that people have. If you go in to buy a franchise or something like that, like you said, like most things it's like $500,000 for most businesses that you're going to, go and invest in. And the fact is, the mindset is so different for people that actually put that money down and go all in with it. So I know that one of the things that you talk about in what you teach is around mindset. So what are some of the things that you think factor in with that? And what are the changes that people need to make to go from, kind of, I guess, in a way, it's like what you said at the beginning, it's going from just thinking, oh, I'm just a, network marketer versus like, no, I'm actually an entrepreneur. What are the differences there?
I think you really got to tie purpose and tie vision to the work that you're doing. And I think that's where a lot of people miss the boat is because lots of us, like I did, I got started for very surface level reasons, like to save money on my shake and to maybe help a few friends, like very surface level. And if I didn't really dig into the work and the purpose that was behind the work that really lit my soul on fire, it would have been easy to just coast and to just do it when it was convenient and when people came to me and whatever. But thankfully, I really got excited about the work I was doing. And then I really got excited. This was the biggest thing about the possibility that it created in our life. And I did. I wanted a life of choice. I did not want to be, at the time when I started, we were going to be following JD wherever he got the best job at a vet school. He's an awesome vet. He's well known in his industry. And he was heavily sought after in the Midwest because he was going to school at Oklahoma State. He had some really strong ties there. And we would have definitely ended up in the Midwest had we been relying on his job and his income. And I value family over everything. And we have 5 kids, and we had this life that we wanted to build with them. And I didn't want to do it in the Midwest. I wanted to do it back west where our parents were and our cousins, and they could know each other and they could have those strong relationships. And so when I learned, literally the first week that I started coaching, my coach sent me, when she was getting me into this Star Diamond training to learn about coaching, she sent me this YouTube video from the grandma coach that was doing it. And she's like, this is what she's done in the Beachbody world. This is what's possible. Just watch this so you know who she is. I'm like, hey, cool. So I watched this video. It was talking about her first, this is when you could actually talk about income. And she was talking about her first $20,000 week as a coach. And I remember watching that and looking at JD and being like, and I was super negative and pessimistic and like just not a great human, just grumpy all the time. And I'm like, yeah, friggin' right. Like that is monopoly money. There's no way that this is real, whatever. But in the back of my head, I'm like, well, what if that was real? What could that look like? Like, what could that be? Like, how would that affect my life? And the seed was planted and curiosity just started to churn. And I started to watch this coach who had done this and had this incredible success. And I got to know her. The more that I started to grow, the more she paid attention and was like, what are you doing? Like, I see your name popping up on leaderboards. And I got to know her as a human being. And I watched her do life. And she was a very normal mom. She was not a fit pro. She was just very relatable. And I'm like, gosh, she did that. Like, there's no way she would lie about this crap. Like, she did that. And if she can, I can. And I literally just borrowed that belief and kind of grabbed onto that vision of what could we do with this? And for me, it opened up possibility for us. We wouldn't have to live in the Midwest. We wouldn't have to be tied down to JD's income. We'd be able to choose where we wanted to be, doing work we wanted to do wherever. And that's where I was like, it's freaking go time. And that was early on in my coaching career. And at that point, I remember telling JD, so that was I started coaching in 2013. So he was in his 3rd year of vet school. And I remember telling him like, babe, we're going to graduate vet school with no student loans. And that was a lot at the time, like didn't make sense. I couldn't put numbers behind it. I couldn't be like, oh, if I sell this much and build this much and make this, whatever, that will make sense. I couldn't. The numbers did not add up. But what I learned was that as you grew a team and as you empowered others and as that compound effect happened and as you hit rank goals that were the Star Diamond bonuses and that sped up your income. And so I'm like, it's freaking go time, balls to the wall. Let's go. We're building a superstar team and we're hitting these ranks and I'm building leaders. And I just decided that I was going to do it. And we did. We graduated without any vet school loans and student debt. And we did get to put a down payment on the house that we're living in now in Idaho on 40 acres, surrounded by family, like on either side of us. And it's like, that is what every freaking human has. Everyone has the same equal opportunity. It's equal playing field. And I think that's why I'm so passionate about this industry, is because when you partner yourself with a company and products that you love, that you want to be using, that you believe in, that you want to be sharing, you can build like it's limitless potential. It's up to you. And I think that's really unique because you can't get into any job and be like, all right, the sky's the limit. Like it's usually not. Like, let's be honest, it's usually not. And it really is with this. And it's up to you to learn and to grow and develop the skill sets and to dig in and do the work, but it's equal opportunity. And I think that's so freaking rad that everybody has this and just very few actually lean in and make it what it can be for their family.
I think it's interesting where you talked about having that kind of moment that it like flipped the switch for you. I know like Tony Robbins always talks about having, it doesn't take a lot to change. It just takes a moment that like all of a sudden something changes. I had a similar experience. I was chatting with a friend of mine. She was into nutrition, trying to build a business around nutrition. And I had been introduced to this entrepreneur that was basically creating like nutrition programs and selling them to nutritionists that if they couldn't come up with their own like signature offer. And I was like, she can do this.
Yeah.
Like, I am very well suited to be doing this too.
Yeah.
And it was that moment that really changed for me. So it's just interesting in your story that there was that exact same, like there's this moment, this aha moment that you just have a choice. And like, it's either option A or option A. There's like no other, things that are going to stop me.
I call these moments and these things like your heart tugs, because we all have them. We all have these moments and these inklings of like, and you have this thought and it literally like comes by and it flutters through, and you either take action on that tug and make that decision, or you let it go and you miss your miracle. And I can't even freaking think or fathom what our life would be like without this. And so I have been very, very in tune over the years of like those heart tugs, and they come every single day. It's like that inkling of like, you should reach out to so-and-so. I wonder how Sarah's doing. Oh, you should, maybe this idea would work. Oh, what if you did this? It's like, those things are coming up for a reason. And the successful people have gotten really good at just being so in tune with those ideas and those thoughts and those things that are fluttering, and not like squirrel, like not this, oh, I'm going to go to that direction, not this, like being so in tune with like what you want most. And I'm really, really passionate about vision. I like have a whole vision story workshop that helps people bring their vision to life, because this is one of the routines and the habits that I've incorporated the past few years that has literally been a game changer. And so when you're in tune with your vision, when you're in tune with your desires, like your biggest, strongest desires, as far as what you want to do with your life, the impact you want to make, what you want to build with your business, the relationships you want to cultivate, where you want to live, like all of the details that light you up. And you're so clear on those things and you're so emotionally connected to those things. That's where like these heart tugs and these thoughts and these things, they elevate and they get like in the game and they get on board with bringing that to life. Because your imagination your body doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So when you can get so emotionally connected to this vision that you want to create and the things that you want to do in your life, that you just believe it becomes a part of who you are. It shifts your identity. You start to elevate your thoughts, your behaviors, your actions, all of those things. That's when you bring all your goals and dreams to life, because you're like stepping into that next level version of who you need to be in order to do those things. And those heart tugs are like really what set the path to do that. So you've clearly had some along your way. And like, I just think they're so powerful because we all have them. It's just many of us hear them, we think about them, and then we're like, oh yeah, we like let our doubts and fears or distraction or life or whatever, just kind of quiet them away. And I call them the missed miracles, because those are little things that are placed on your path for a reason, and you need to act on those things.
And the other thing that you said that was interesting and sort of blew my mind is, in passing, you said you have 5 children. So let's let's talk more about this. So I have a 2-year-old and I have one on the way. I'm due in December. Thank you. And I'm like, I'm grasping at straws right now to like manage the chaos. So let's talk a little bit about how you've been able to, you're raising 5 children. Obviously systems are going to play into this and how you manage this. So like, I feel like I need you to spill the tea with me. How have you done this? Like, how, as an entrepreneur, a mom, like all the things, how does this all come together for you?
Yeah. So, a team. So I really had my priorities, and this is part of the things that I teach with like within my program, identifying like what's most important to you, identifying your core values and your priorities, and then building your business around those things instead of building your business and then hoping that your priorities fit into the mix. Right. So I got really clear on the things I was willing to sacrifice in order to build and create the life we wanted. And I got really clear on the things that I was not willing to sacrifice. And time with my family, like every single day, and being at every game, being at every school thing, and we now homeschool. So we don't have to go to school things, but we have school every single day together. Those things were just not something I was willing to miss. So as we started to grow, it was all in the mom cracks. It was all like in between things and just getting super intentional with my time. And then as we started to expand, I hit that wall of, okay, Micah, you can either lower your goals and you can slow down a bit so that you can keep your priorities in line, or you can sacrifice some of these things and be willing to bend a little bit in order to continue to grow, or you can work smarter and not harder. And so that's when I learned how to delegate some things. And that's where I learned how to like really hone in on, what does Micah need to do? What is my zone of genius? Where is my joy and my strength in building these businesses? Like, what do I actually want to be doing? What do I need to be doing? What can someone else do? What can I happily pay someone else to take off my plate and to make this just like this beautiful mix of business and family and relationship and all of those things? And so over the years and different seasons of life, that looks differently. So that's how I've done it. Obviously, when we started, I had 2 kids. Through the 9 years, we had 3 more. We moved, built businesses, had like all of the things. And I've never once, this is, I think, where I kind of am a unicorn. I never once have felt burnt out. I've never once felt any ounce of like, I'm having to sacrifice and hustle in order to do this. Never once, because I've really, really built in a way that is so aligned with the life I want to live. And it looks differently in each season. And I'm pouring in different areas at different times. But I think that's most important, is understanding how and when to delegate, what that looks like, when that's the right thing for you. Just building a team of support, whether that's a nanny, whether it's a house cleaner, whether it's a VA, whether it's getting resources done for you that you don't have to do yourself. Like all of those things are part of that puzzle. But systems to simplify are essential so that you're not just spinning your wheels. There's so many things that go into it, but it's all possible. Like it's all possible. I love that you asked this. This is why I built my actual program for network marketers, because this is the question I get asked all the time. Like, how do you do it? Because I feel like I have to choose. I have to either have the success in my business or have the life I want to live with my family, because I'm having to sacrifice all of this in order to create that. And I'm like, no, you don't. You're just doing it wrong. And there's a right way to do it. And there's like certain things that have to be in place. And so that's kind of what my program is. It's like taking people on that roadmap of like, this is how you do it. These are the steps. So I can bridge that gap for people. But for you, I would just say, go all in on your zone of genius, on what you love, on what your strengths are, figure out what you can clear out and clear off your plate. And then I have a nanny helper that comes in 5 days a week for 6 hours a day. And during that time, I work and I homeschool mom. So she has my littlest, who's 1, while I homeschool the 4 other kids for a couple hours. And then I get all my work done. And it's my sanity saver. Like it is if I didn't have this time to pour into work that I love and to do this, I would be a freaking momster every single day of my life. I would be the worst mom ever. And so this is just my balance, like what works for us. So you got to just be true to who you are and find what works for you, and not let like external, you should do this and you should do this. And you're a bad person if you do this. And you got to clear all that crap out and just figure out what works for you and roll with it.
Love it. Micah, when you said, at the beginning of our chat here, I asked the question about, what's your unique mechanism? If I would have heard you were like, I have 5 children and this is, like I get my work done in this crack of my day. Like, yeah, that's your $1 million message. Holy smokes. So impressive. It really is. Like, it's an amazing accomplishment. And I love that couple things you said, like happily pay someone else to do those things that you don't want to do. Because really, when it comes down to it, when you do look at that to-do list or that project list, like that's the reason that you build a business, is so that you build your life around it and not the other way around. There's this book I've been reading. It's called Clockwork, and it's all about automating your business. And one of the most important takeaways I've had from it is, he calls it the queen bee activities. And it's like, the queen knows what she has to do. She has to like just replicate. Like she has one purpose, and all the other bees protect her to make sure that she gets that one thing done. And that is what you have also illuminated and talked about. It's really about figuring out, what do you actually need to do, and delegate, get the other stuff, like happily pay someone to do it.
Yeah.
Because it just allows so much space.
It does. And I think this holds a lot of entrepreneurs back, because they're like, but I can't see that. I can't see when that's going to be possible for me, because they're so in the weeds of doing it all. And you have to do it all at the beginning, unless you're at a place where you are coming into it with maybe a strong corporate career and you have extra income that you can pour into starting this business and you can delegate right off the bat. Some people might come into that, and I would say, do it. I would say delegate as much as you can to grow it as fast as you can, but make sure that you're delegating the right things, not just fluffy crap that they can like do, but actual things that are moving the needle forward, growing your income and your bottom line. I was not in that place. Yes, I had a wedding photography business, but it was helping provide for our family. It was not going to invest in another business opportunity. So I did it all for 8 months until I could hire a house cleaner once a month. That's the first thing I delegated, a house cleaner to do the deep cleaning once a month. So I just had to like do the other stuff and do it in the cracks. And then I got a VA to do the leaderboards once a week for literally like an hour a week. And I started so small, but I started getting glimpses of like, oh, okay, well, when my cleaner's here, I'm going to make sure I'm doing things that are essential for my business. I'm going to take advantage of this time. Or when my VA is spending that hour doing the leaderboards that I no longer have to do, I'm going to make sure that I'm sending more connections and invites that are moving the needle forward, filling my groups faster, mentoring my team, and doing my zone of genius. So it's like, what actually matters in your business, so that you can go all in on the things that matter and do the most essential things. And then you can get out of the weeds so much faster. So you don't have to live that life slaving away in your DMs forever. You will have systems, you will have funnels, you will hopefully build like an entrepreneur and have email systems and all of these things in place. But that takes time. It takes time. So that's where it like circles all the way back to vision. Like, why are you doing this? What are you doing it for? Why is it going to be worth the work in the beginning to figure it all out and get everything rolling, so that you can get to a place where you freaking love it, because you're doing everything that you love and you're delegating the other things that still need to get done, but not by you. Like, there's such a sweet spot in all of it. But I'm also really obsessed with the fact that even in those weeds at the beginning, you should love it. You should love it. There's going to be work that you're like every freaking day, oh my gosh, I have to do this again. Oh my gosh, I have to send these invites. I have to do these follow-ups. Yeah, you do. But guess what? You can do them in a way that you love, that works for you, that you enjoy, and give yourself the space to figure out what that is, how you want to do the things in your business, not just do it exactly like how your upline says and whatever sends you a script. Don't do that. Like, stay so true to who you are and what you stand for and how you want to do the work, but be willing to do the work because it's essential, period.
Love it. Thank you so much, Micah. So where can people learn more about you, find you, follow you, all the things?
Yeah, I hang out most on Instagram. You can find us at Life on Folsom Farm. So that's where I hang out lots of times in stories. And then for our network marketing friends, I do have a free masterclass that digs into those 7 essentials to build a 7-figure business. And it's like that, those 7 pillars that are most important. So you can go to micahfolsomfit.com/7essentials1, the number 1. And that can get you registered and get you access to that free masterclass. But that will really, I have this little exercise in that class where I give you a wheel of the 7 essentials, and it helps you identify kind of where your wheel is flat, because this is what I see more than anything else is people don't know what they don't know. So they go through the motions doing the things just like they've always done. And then they get frustrated or burnt out, or they're not growing the way that they want and they lose passion and then they end up quitting. And I'm like, stop it. Let's help you identify your gaps. Let's help you know where your wheel is flat. Let's help you know where you can elevate. And then you can move forward from there from a clearer headspace with more clarity around the work that you want to do. So that's what we kind of go through in this masterclass.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Micah, for being here today. I so appreciate your time.
You're so welcome. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for taking the time to level up today. If you're ready to commit to personal and professional growth, move forward, make money, and grow your health and fitness business, head to my free community on Facebook, Business Bootcamp for Fitness Coaches, so I can support you every step along the way. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and we'll see you right back here next week on Social Selling Simplified.